Suhail says, what is the ruling on making hijra to a Muslim country in the present scenario? Suhail, I don't know what scenario you're talking about, but generally speaking, a Muslim living in a non-Muslim country has a choice between staying and migrating to a Muslim country. If you have such a luxury and you are able to choose, definitely going to a Muslim country would be a plus and a better choice. People would argue and say, but Sheikh, if we live in the West, in a kafir country, we have social security, we have good roads, we have discipline, we have policies and procedures that are practiced and not simply put there for PR reasons. We have justice and fairness, and all are equal under the eye of the law. We have better education, better health care, better freedom of expression and the ability to be treated as human beings, which in so many Islamic countries, Muslims lack. We would argue against this by saying that even if all of this is true, though I beg to differ, even if it's all true, this does not constitute a small percentage of the benefits of being a Muslim in the lands of Islam. Nothing beats being a Muslim, walking on the streets and hearing the adhan and seeing people saying Assalamu alaikum and you reply wa alaikum salam. In knowing that the meat I'm eating is halal, I don't have to doubt it. So all restaurants are halal for me to eat. In feeling that those around me share the same aqeedah, they worship one Lord, who's Allah the Almighty. They follow the sunnah of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. You feel the tranquility, the peace where you live. At the same time, you rarely see someone dying out of hunger or someone that is homeless in Muslim countries, because they come together and they give food to those who are needy. Unlike other countries, you may find people starving to death because it doesn't say anything in our religion to help others. In Islam, it is built on helping others and sticking with the community. So if you weigh the pros and cons, nothing beats being in a Muslim country. Even if you are in the Scandinavian countries or in highly modern civilized countries, as a Muslim, this is not your place. You do not fit. And this is not racist, by the way. This is something that is related to our conviction and belief. Would I allow my child who's 10, 12, 14 years of age to go to public schools where they force them to have their physical education class mixed together, swimming in a swimming pool, wearing bathing clothes? Would I have my child go to such a school where they don't have halal and haram, where free mixing is permissible, where it is okay to have relationships, kissing, hugging, dating, sexual intercourse? Would I take my children to schools where they teach them that homosexuality is a normal thing? To have a relationship between a man and a man, a girl, a woman and a woman is totally legit. To be heterosexual, to teach them how to use condoms and how to refrain from STDs, etc. A'udhu billah. at an early age, I expose my child with my own hands to such filth and expect my child to grow up to be a practicing Muslim? This is unbelievable. So living in such kafir countries has its merits. No argument in that. But at the same time, it comes with a very high cost, a very high price, which real Muslims would not be willing to pay. They would not jeopardize their children's Islam and safety just for a passport. While they can stay in their Muslim countries, yes, maybe a bit poor, not that highly educated, the infrastructure is awful, so much corruption in the government, so much insecurity in the terms of justice, etc. But still you are a Muslim, living among the Muslims. In the West, you try to discipline your child. He does something wrong. It is part of our religion to instruct our children to pray when they're 7 and to spank them when they're 10 if they refuse to pray, to beat them, lightly that is. If you do this, they'll take your child and give it to social welfare or whatever, and they'll give it to a Christian family. What for? You know what's best for my child more than me. This is hypocrisy. And then when the child does something heinous, or when the child grows up to be a teenager and starts shooting people in a mall, and they say, well, this is due to video games. No, this is due to your rotten way of upbringing your children. There is no discipline. There is no respect. There is no order in how you upbring your children. All what you care about is feeding them, clothing them, and letting them follow their desires. But this does not make a healthy society nor a healthy person. Therefore, again, nothing beats moving to a Muslim country despite all what they say. And look at some major and great and superpower countries. People could easily die on the streets because they don't have Medicare. They don't have medical insurance. Why? Because they can't afford it. So where is the justice? Where is fairness? You don't have money, you don't have an insurance, you die. Or spend the rest of your life paying. In Muslim countries, alhamdulillah, there are government facilities, hospitals, and you can be treated for free. So don't believe everything you hear, but at the same time, nothing beats living among the Muslims, for the Muslims themselves, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best.